I thought it was a great opportunity to travel out of my studio today to do a Q&A session and also address some of the hater comments on my channel, because I like reading all comments and I really appreciate people who, find the time to leave these comments. And a lot of these comments are really nice, but of course, as any YouTuber, I have to deal with hater comments, and I find them, to be honest, quite entertaining. And I thought, you know what, because sometimes they make me smile so much, and sometimes they make me laugh, sometimes they make me go like, why not share that with everybody and see what you guys think. But at least if you're wondering who are the people who give in dislikes for the videos, or who are the people and why people might hate me for the kind of channel I create and for the kind of content I create, then this video is going to answer the question. Half Moon Beach is one of my favorite places in Jamaica as well. It's in Green Island, and let me show you how beautiful it is. It's a private lagoon. I've already made a video about this place before. It's called Half Moon Beach Kalika Jack Pirate Bar. The actual pirate bar is right over there in the sea. It's like a little thing here. I do have a video about it on my channel, so you can watch it at the end of this one if you want. I'm not going to that bar today. Probably we're just gonna film this Q&A session, and then I gotta go snorkeling, maybe, if I still have the time. But look at this. There is no one on the beach, no one else here, just us. It's a private beach and it's absolutely gorgeous. I've got this seat over here. Let me just, look how cozy it is. Look, see? And it's not too hot because the water is, so I can sit down, and it's actually really nice and cool. Oh, this is so cool. Look at that. Look, do you know? Definitely better than my studio. It's kind of a little bit more tricky to film here, but it's certainly more convenient than doing it in a studio when it comes to being in water, because I'm so fed up being in the studio all the time. Irina, the 50k milestone was achieved by amazing 98% of your subscriptions in a year. Impressive. Thank you. This statistic reflects the quality and relevance of the content produced, and information and education is at the heart of it. You've done many thus far, but what would you say is perhaps the most satisfying content you have produced to date? Oh, that's a good question. I think the most satisfying one was the Ital Lifestyle video. It was probably one of the coolest because I really enjoyed my time spent with Ackee and Saltfish. And the other thing is, the food was great, and it was also a fantastic surprise that I had at the end. So, obviously I had to find some kind of music that I could use for that documentary. And Ackee called me and said, listen, we've got some songs. And I was like, yeah, sure, if you have some songs, do share, but I wasn't expecting much. And then they sent me songs, and they're so cool, like written by Saltfish. And I was like, I can't believe these are the songs, and I was like, I definitely have to use them in my video. So
clean liberty, clean food, clean thoughts, clean hearts is our destiny. What are you waiting for? Come together, come together.
It took me a little extra time with the editing, but it was so satisfying because it was unique in a way. You know, that music was unique and it was so perfect for that particular documentary. So yeah, so I would say that one. But to be honest, every time I make a video on this channel, I'm always left unhappy afterwards. Even if I watch this very same video right away, I always find it not good enough. So I try to make it better and better next time. I always look up to the content other people produce, and I always find it more interesting and more amazing. Anyway, so the next question. What was your most enjoyable video to make and why? The most enjoyable was the one with Shamira when we were making a video on Sorrel. We had a lot of laugh. It was really funny. What video was difficult to film because you kept on laughing throughout? That was actually a video, How Media Destroys Jamaica, about local media, where when I was filming that part, and it was just so difficult to film it because I had to keep like this straight face, but I'm not a particularly good actress, so that was... Even though the subjects were quite serious, but it was really funny to record myself being in such way with green screen. Not sure if this light is even. Alright, I still can see the shadow. That's the problem. You see, shadows are the problem. Alright guys, so I'm doing this video. It's already Friday night and I should be posting it on Sunday, but I don't know if it's gonna have enough time to edit everything. I'm doing media versus Jamaica and with local media. And if you wonder where my hair's gone, it's all here. I just stuck it in there. Yeah, so that was a bit yeah, because it took me so much castor oil to get my hair like stuck in there. Because otherwise with the green screen the hair is all over the place. Anyway, what video was the most challenging to film? Harmony Beach Park. Yeah, took me forever. And also, if you ask me which video was the most difficult to make, it would be Queen versus Jamaica, because it was probably the longest to write a script for. The amount of research for it and to check all information, you know, that all went into it. It was really difficult, and also because I'm not a lawyer, so, and I literally had to study Jamaican Constitution, which is not the most exciting read ever. With all due respect, you make Jamaica look boring. There is nothing Irie about your channel. Now, this comment was under the video about the Queen. So for that particular video, obviously that was not about Rastafari or Jamaican culture. It was a political science video. So for that particular video, could have been boring for some. So all you had to do was just to check the other content I have on the channel. I mean, there are over 70 videos now. Just pick a different one, do you know what I mean? Anyway, Jamaica with Irie means Jamaica with a good attitude. In the context of the name of the channel. It's not me being Irie. Why have you not done content on Jamaican wild animals? I have actually. I have a video, Black River Safari, about where I mentioned crocodiles. I also have a video about hummingbirds. Other than that, I just haven't got there yet. So it's just one step at a time. I'm going to be filming more on that. If you could collab with another YouTuber who covers Jamaican content there or abroad, who would you choose and why? Jamaican YouTubers, I would choose spearfishing Jamaica right now, simply because I would like to make a video on spearfishing, and I really like Raj and his channel, and I think he's awesome. So definitely someone I would want to make, maybe not a collab, but someone I would like to interview. I would want to interview Politrix Watch. Not a collab again, but I would want to interview him. And I definitely want to interview Alex from Elite Jamaica and Roslyn as well. I already had one video together with Roslyn. It was live on her channel. So these are the people whose content I have watched, you know, so these are the people I know. I remember I was thinking of doing a collab with Chat Jamaican with Tanya. She's watching my channel, I know she does. And yeah, so I was thinking of her. In general, I decided to do the following. I want to make a video about Jamaican YouTubers and big them up, because some of them I really enjoy watching myself, and I really like the work that they do. And I think, you know, maybe if I highlight the work that they do, more people would be aware of them. Not necessarily big YouTubers, some are small. Like I know a couple who do content on building a house in Jamaica, and I want to feature them in my video on how to build a house. So yeah, so these are the guys I would want to do the collab with at some point, definitely. How can someone from Ukraine doing tour guide in Jamaica? This is totally wrong. Okay, I'm actually not doing tour guide in Jamaica, even though I do have Jamaica video guide playlist about different places in Jamaica. But the thing is, why is it wrong? No, but really, tourists are not Jamaicans. If I were doing a tourist guide, right, just the information for tourists, sure, it makes total sense. I do know what tourists need simply because I was one of them. So it's very easy for me to put myself in their shoes. Whereas for Jamaican people, it can be a bit tricky. I don't listen to colonizers trying to teach Jamaican history. We have our own historians for that. Many are native indigenous Arawak and Maroons. Let's make space for the ones who have been fighting imperialism from day one. Why do people think that if I make videos, it somehow prevents other people from making videos? No, but really, like, okay, I have a YouTube channel, right? I make videos. You don't like YouTube videos, okay. But how does it prevent Jamaicans from making their own? This comment reminds me of this wonderful story. When you walk in the street, right, you see a lamppost, and there is a notice on the lamppost: guitar lessons, call this number. So you pick up the number, call the number and go, I don't want your guitar lessons. Okay. Yeah, well, then it's not for you. So, I mean, and this is not the only comment. There are quite a few comments like this, which make me wonder, like, guys, you do realize that there is no limit on YouTube. It's not like, aha, she's making content about Jamaica, therefore others cannot be making content about Jamaica. There is no line like that in YouTube. It doesn't matter if I make content or not. It doesn't prevent Jamaicans from making their own. Why is this a problem? I want to see the Jamaicans of African descent, Maroons, uplifted. These are the architects of Jamaican culture. And why the island is so famous today, not someone trying to capitalize on it. Just an opinion. You do realize that running a channel about Jamaica is such a narrow niche that it's very difficult to get views compared to, say, if I were making a channel, a gaming channel. I know that people say that Jamaica is a brand. It is true, Jamaica is a brand, but it doesn't work on YouTube that way. That's the thing. Most people who watch my channel on a regular basis are Jamaicans or people who are interested in Jamaica. And the number of such people is not that high. Yes, there are a lot of tourists who are interested in visiting Jamaica, but are they going to watch this channel? I mean, maybe they would watch 1 or 2 videos that I've created just with tips or something, or with COVID rules and updates and things like that, but not everything else. So it's actually one of the not so good ideas to run a channel like this if you want to capitalize, like he said. It is a great idea to run a channel like this if you're passionate about Jamaica, not because it actually brings much money. But I am capitalizing on it now, yes. From September this year, I started making some profit on this channel, not because of Google Ads, but because of patrons, because patrons are supporting me. So last month I made $100 profit. So, but for a year before that, I'd been working for free and kept pouring in my money. I still haven't received all the investment I made, so I haven't reached the break-even point, but at least now I'm getting some money back. And so out of the money I invested, I got $100 back. So yeah, so that's good. I'm a Jamaican tourism entrepreneur, plus many more like myself, and as much as we're a warm, welcoming country to all, no one sells Jamaica better than Jamaicans. Who argues with that? I think this is true. Great work, Irina. Absolutely love your channel. Could you do a video on maroon sovereignty in Jamaica? Sorry if I can't pronounce the word sovereignty. Sovereign. I know that sovereign is pronounced like that. Do the Maroons have the right to claim autonomy and separate from the Jamaican state? This is a very good question. I will be discussing that with Maroons and the lawyer. So that's the whole thing I want to do, at least, you know, just to understand clearly what's going on with this situation. And generally, the story of Maroons is a very interesting story. The thing is, though, I'm still doing the research. It's a lot to research because all the videos that are currently produced on Maroons are either not full or just pushing one of the sides of the story and kind of omitting the other sides of the story, so it's not really clear what's going on. I'd like to make a documentary, like a full-length documentary on that. So far, some of the nice videos I have found, well, first Rocheline has done some videos on Maroons, and just some of the latest videos as well where she's discussing all that. Can you do a topic on how entertainer influences media in Jamaica? I think it's the other way around. I mean, entertainment and entertainers are part of the media. But I guess what the question is asking is whether, well, how entertainers influence Jamaican media, other Jamaican media. Now, I think it's other Jamaican media like the news that influence entertainers. And this is because entertainers grow up in a certain society, in a certain environment, and they keep hearing things and they keep hearing people from the news and everyone around them. And this is where the entertainers get their ideas, and the kind of music they create is all based on their experiences. So yeah, so I think this is how it works. And I have a video that explains how the media in Jamaica influences people in general, including entertainers, because entertainers are Jamaicans. They just regular people like you and me. But I don't know, is there some kind of stereotype as in that entertainers influence media in Jamaica? Do write in the comments, in the comment section below, because I'm not quite sure about it. I don't know. What are the best professions to study for in Jamaica? Jamaica generally doesn't have much competition in any of the areas. So no matter what profession you study, if you become a skilled individual and you're passionate about what you do, you can find a lot of success in Jamaica. I mean, obviously, if you want to do snowboarding, that's not going to work in Jamaica. But again, like some guys managed to do lift foil in Jamaica, which is kind of similar to snowboarding. Bottled water. So I would say the top one is digital, anything to do with IT. Then it's, of course, medical professions, construction, tourism industry. If you become a specialist in any of these, I really think it's not about what profession is in highest demand, but rather what you are passionate about. And this is the problem. You see, sometimes people go like, oh, let's see what profession is good to study for, and that's why I'm going to pick it. No, that's not how it should be done. You should pick the profession you're interested in, you're passionate about, and only then you can become the best you can. Because if you pick a profession which you think is popular, then at the end of the day, you're never going to be as good as the person who picked that profession because of passion. Like, I remember back in the day in Soviet Union, or when Soviet Union broke up, everybody wanted to become a lawyer. It was just a thing, you know, to become a lawyer or to become an interpreter. These were the top wanted, because apparently people thought that they're the most highly paid. And there was an oversaturation of quite bad lawyers and quite bad interpreters, and none of them did really well. Can you do a video on the different ethnic groups in Jamaica and how they are living in Jamaica, and do a Q&A on topics such as how Chinese own all supermarkets and wholesales and hardwares, etc. All right, these are actually quite two different topics. The video on the different ethnic groups in Jamaica I'm already doing. It's going to be called Out of Many One People. And It's a very difficult video to do because I'm not doing it by myself. I'm trying to involve other people into it's like a full-length documentary. It's about 2 hours long, and I'm still at the stage of writing a script and interviewing people, actually getting in touch with different people who are professionals in each of their area, because this topic is not as easy as one might think. Mainly because there is a lack of information, especially when it comes to African ethnic groups. There is basically hardly any, they would talk about Khan people, but that's about it. I began working on this documentary in April 2021. I was hoping to finish it by August, for the Independence Day, and it turned out that it's no way. So I'm still hoping to finish it for the Independence Day, the next one, for the next year. Yeah, so I'm working on it. Now, the other question here, how Chinese own all supermarket and wholesales and hardwares. There is going to be a video, Who Owns Jamaica, which is going to cover part of this topic. And there will also be a video specifically on Chinese Jamaicans, who are like a part of ethnic groups. And so this is when I'm hoping to cover part of this topic. Do you intend to translate your videos into Russian or Ukrainian eventually? I was planning to translate them into Russian, and I even created a channel for that purpose called IRIE Jamaica for the Russian speakers. But then, you see, the problem is it takes all of my time to create content in English, and if I decide to translate these videos into Russian language, it would take a part of my time, quite a big part of my time. And even then, I would have to re-record quite some parts because they have to be adapted for Russian speakers. Like, for instance, some of the jokes that I make for English-speaking audience would not work for Russian-speaking audience, and vice versa. I have to, do that. So I decided not to do that at the moment. As for Ukrainian language, it just doesn't make any sense because all Ukrainians know Russian. And so creating videos specifically in Ukrainian language would reach hardly any audience at all, because there aren't that many Ukrainians, and especially there aren't that many Ukrainians who are interested in Jamaica, So I thought of a second question. Can we see one of the videos you made for the Russian audience with subtitles to compare the difference? Well, those videos are horrible. I don't like them, and so I removed them from the internet completely because they're rubbish. But I can imitate one of the videos for you now, so you can check them out. Look, let me show you what they look like. Let me show you. Всем привет, меня зовут Ирина, и у меня нет стабилизатора на камере, поэтому все мои ролики так видны. И если вам плохо меня видно, то yeah, something like that. So no. But in general, I do have one of the videos in Russian without the subtitles. It's just for Jamaica Tours Board webinar in Russian language that I posted recently. Yeah, so I'm going to leave a link for it. I'm not saying anything specific there, just the same thing, Why you chat so much? That's because it's a YouTube channel. You're watching a video and people tend to talk here. Imagine if I was making a content for YouTube channel and I was just filming myself sitting down there quiet, just like so. Actually, it's not that bad because you can hear the sea. The worst accent ever. Aussie, English, and some foreign sounding Jamaican. Well, yeah. Actually, I speak with different accents. It depends on what videos I watch beforehand and also what people I talk to. So sometimes my accent is all over the place. But yeah, if it's bad, well, sorry. I hope your accent is much better when you speak Ukrainian. Any idea if the government there is talking about mandating vaccines for travelers to Jamaica? I don't think they are talking about it, but I would imagine they would have to do it at some point because this is a general trend that is being followed all over the world. At the moment, this rule is not in place. So for anyone who wants to travel to Jamaica and they're still not vaccinated, technically you can still do it. You do touch on topics that no one else seems to have the drive to do. I don't think people don't have the drive. I think they don't have the time and dedication to work for free, you know, because it does take a lot of time, and the chances of being paid for that are very close to zero. So the reluctance of Jamaicans to take the vaccine should be addressed before a mandate is issued. However, this is a sensitive topic and can cause fireworks. I would not want you to be caught up in it, even though I know you would do an excellent job presenting both sides of this controversy. I take up any topics. The problem with the vaccine topic is that I'm not a virologist and I don't have any background in medical education. For someone like me to come out and start teaching people what they should and shouldn't do, or presenting both sides of the argument, I have to support these arguments with evidence and facts. And for me to find these arguments and facts, I need to have a certain type of education. When COVID hit, of course, I was interested in what was going on. And since my knowledge of biology was I decided, you know, I needed to take a course on that. So I found all lectures of virology of Columbia University and decided to watch them and take notes and basically study virology, because I thought at least I would be able to understand what was going on. So I did that course, but it was funny because the first lesson they had there, it's the university lecture, right? I could understand pretty much everything, so I was like, yeah, another 20-something lectures to go, sure. Each lecture is over an hour, so. And somewhere in the middle of a second lecture, I started going like, what do you mean by that? Because obviously you need to understand biology at a basic level before you start learning virology.
Adenoviruses make virions in the nucleus, which you can see very clearly. The Negri body refers to the assembly of virions in the cytoplasm, which is very characteristic of rabies.
And this is one of the problems, you see. It's very difficult to deliver this information to the public, not because the public cannot understand or because someone is hiding something. It's just a very difficult subject. It takes time to learn. You cannot study astrophysics before you can learn the basics of mathematics. The same with vaccines and virology. You cannot study virology and understand how vaccines work before you study the basics of biology. And most people never studied the basics of biology. Well, other than what's given at school, but that's not enough. It's simply not enough. People don't even know the difference between viruses and bacteria. And also there is an issue with trust. Anyway, I do want to make a video on the subject, but I do need to have a few people to interview for that who specialize in the area. And of course, I would also need to interview someone who opposes the official opinion, just to see what their arguments are and their point of view, so that people who are watching the video can make a decision whether this point of view is right or flawed, and if it is right, why, or if it is flawed, why. And also this kind of video is not going to get much views, which means I'm going to spend 2 weeks working on the script, interviewing people and doing all of that, and then at the end the video is going to get like 10,000 views, because YouTube's not going to promote a video like that. It's one of the things, you know, when it comes to COVID or vaccines or something like that, YouTube doesn't want to promote videos like that. So there you go. Food is one of the biggest pull factors that get people to Jamaica. Please do a video on Jamaican food and how the different cultures and ethnic groups such as Africans, Europeans, Indians, European Jews, Chinese, Tainos, Arawaks, Syrians and Lebanese influence the diversity of Jamaican cuisines. What I decided to do with this is that I'm just going to make one video per dish kind of thing. At least that was the initial idea, so I started doing it with the series Taste of Jamaica, but I only did 2 so far, Sorrel and Ackee and Saltfish. I will be doing more, and then give the history of that particular dish and the influence that came from other cultures. What's your favorite Jamaican food? It's a difficult question as well, because it's not like there is one favorite. I remember when I came to Jamaica, I tried Ackee and Saltfish and I didn't like it. I was like, what is this? You know, this is strange, like tastes funny. Well, now I would say that Ackee and Saltfish is definitely one of my favorite dishes in Jamaica. Absolutely. I just love it so much. I cook it myself. My husband cooks it. It's like, we just love it so much. And jerk chicken that is made at Lilliput Jerk Center. This is my favorite one. I like Jamaican soups and curry conch. Yeah, I like conch, the curry conch, grilled conch. Anyway, it's covage fish. I don't know, it's just so many. And what's my favorite drink in Jamaica? It's Sorrel. Sorrel, I can't pronounce it again. Anyway, it's spelled like this. I don't drink alcohol, so I won't be able to comment on other drinks. Wow, I'm not surprised. White people are everywhere. Jamaicans are addicted to white. We have such low self-esteem and don't know probably, that we can be strong too. Wherever there is black people living in peace, here comes whites, never ends. First off, do yourself a favor, change your hair. You're white and have no place braiding your straight thin hair. But I don't have straight thin hair. You look ridiculous, culture vulture. Pick up your mayor jar and sit your silly white ass down. P.S. Salt and pepper isn't seasoning. Actually, salt and pepper is seasoning. It is. I wonder how he knows that I have a mayo jar. I always carry one in my bag. Of course I do. Why wouldn't I? White person. Mayonnaise. Stop acting like the white savior who's trying to help. Jamaica is a dangerous country, and making people aware for them to be cautious is a good thing. Yes, if Jamaica was dangerous, then yes, but it isn't. If you are retired or have a mobile job, this works. If not, you are too busy working to enjoy the beauty of the island. I've been to Jamaica a few times on vacation, and natives work hard, so even have multiple jobs. Colonizer oversimplify these lifestyles. I guess because life is easier for them. Apparently, I'm the colonizer. I think this person needs to go on vacation to Ukraine and then make a decision whether a colonizer oversimplifies these lifestyles. Why do people call me a colonizer? I really want to know, because it's happened several times. People keep calling me a colonizer, which is kind of crazy because I'm Ukrainian. Ukraine has never colonized anybody, ever. And, the thing is, nobody says that the life of people is easy in Jamaica. I would say it is easier than for quite a lot of people in other countries. I mean, poverty is bad everywhere. It's not like poverty is bad in Jamaica, but it's not bad in other places. Poverty is bad everywhere. And at least in Jamaica, poor people have access to water. In Jamaica, poor people can walk around naked in the street and don't die. In Ukraine, poor people basically die in the street because of cold weather. And it's not only in Ukraine, it happens in Canada as well. It happens in the United States, it happens everywhere. Other countries have it worse than Jamaica because imagine that very same poverty that some people have to experience in Jamaica, plus bad weather, plus lack of fresh water, plus lack of food, literally, because in Jamaica, like if you have no money, you're never gonna be like starving. Because you can always get food from all the trees that you get around and that kind of stuff. So just another exploiter. Of course I am. Do you see how easy it is for others to reside in our country, use our resources, but are not required to contribute to anything? I saw we're frightened enough colonizers already here. Don't need no more. First, it's not easy to relocate to Jamaica. It's actually very difficult. I have a video called How to Move to Jamaica. So I'm not sure why the person decided that it was easy for others to reside in our country. It isn't. 2, use our resources. What resources? The thing is, yes, I use Jamaican resources. I buy fruits on the marketplace. I use the sunshine. I use the climate. Is that the resources the person is talking about? Not required to contribute to anything. Actually, are required, like to get a work permit in Jamaica, you have to show how exactly you're contributing to the country. So as a business owner, I'm showing that I'm creating a certain number of jobs, or that I'm creating some kind of profit, or bringing income to Jamaica from abroad. So yes, foreigners are actually required to contribute something to be able to live here. It's also a shame that people don't understand the difference between foreigners who, come to Jamaica, open their business, then leave, and then take out money out of Jamaica from their business that is running here. And foreigners who come to Jamaica, bring their money here, live here, and their business makes money in Jamaica or brings money from foreign into Jamaica, and then they spend this money here in Jamaica. These are two completely different types of investments, let me put it that way. Do you see the difference? I mean, think about it, right? What is better for Jamaican economy? A foreigner who lives in Jamaica, makes a YouTube channel that promotes Jamaica to others, receives all money for the YouTube channel, like from Google Ads and Patreon, everything, into Jamaica, and spends this money here. Or a Jamaican, let's call him a watching politician, who lives in the UK, creates money from ads running by Jamaican companies, right? So he basically pulls out money from Jamaica and from other countries and spends it in the UK. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. But what's better for Jamaican economy? Just, Anyway. When I'm filming in my studio, I always, I have no AC on because it makes noise, so you can't hear what I'm saying. So that's why I have the AC turned off, and as a result, it's so hot when I'm filming there. Whereas now it's so nice in this water, and it's just it's just really cool. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, so next question. What did your family think about you moving to Jamaica? People who, like my family, they thought I wouldn't do it. They thought I was just saying that I was going to move to Jamaica, but I wouldn't actually move there. They knew that I was looking for a country with no winter kind of thing. I did tell them that I was going to move to Brazil before I came up with Jamaica. And so they were like, okay, not Brazil then. What was it like when you first moved to Jamaica? Difficult. I don't know how else to describe that. It was quite difficult, especially for my husband and the kids, because, in my case, I'm kind of used to moving from place to place, and they were not. So, have the boys gotten their papers yet? Not yet. My husband and my kids, we're still getting the documents for them, because it turned out that my husband needs, like the police records you get in Jamaica. So he needs one from Jamaica and from Ukraine. So we got one from Ukraine just now. So then we need like reference letters and all of that. But we're hoping to apply before the end of this year, because my kids and my husband's visas run out at the end of this year. So are you considering staying in Jamaica indefinitely? Yes, unless I'm kicked out. Have you visited all parishes, and if not, which parish are you looking to visit next? I have visited all parishes, like 10 times each, because I've been traveling around and filming everything. My favorite parish is definitely Portland, yeah. What is your favorite memory in Jamaica so far? One that has impressed upon you? This is actually a very difficult question, because I have so many. Probably the very first visit to Jamaica was one of the most striking, because I had a lot of stereotypes about Jamaica, and when I came, all of them kind of shattered, and I was like, wow, And when we went to Colby's place, and for the first time, and I saw his place, that was amazing, and I met him. He's such a cool man with such a fantastic sense of humor, definitely. But then I have so many more, like when I discovered Calypso Villa, when I met the owners of Calypso Villa, who are brilliant people, when I met my best friend, Tanya, Actually, I haven't made a single video with her yet. There are many good memories I have, and it's difficult to pick one. Creating a YouTube channel. Yeah, and meeting over 50,000 people who like the content, the work that I create and comment on my videos, and then reading all of your comments, guys. This is so cool. Have you been violated in Jamaica? What do they mean violence? Like, have I experienced any violence in Jamaica? Is that, if I misunderstand the question, sorry, I'm not a native English speaker. I've never experienced any violence in Jamaica, no. I'm new to your channel, but why did you move to Jamaica? There is a video where I'm talking about 10 reasons why I came to Jamaica. It has a thumbnail saying why choose Jamaica. Yeah, so I'm listing 10 reasons that made me come to Jamaica, right? But I've counted about 20 comments with a subject like this. So why I came to Jamaica? She likes the BBC, and I'm not talking about the news channel. It's funny because BBC is not a news channel, it's a media corporation. Yeah. And it's interesting because in that video, I actually included my husband, and I don't know what were they watching. I mean, didn't they see that, or they think that I brought my husband here because, I don't know. What are the best things about Jamaica and the worst? For those who are new to my channel, I have a video, it's called Why I Chose Jamaica, and where I'm talking about 10 reasons why I chose to relocate to Jamaica. So please check it out. And 10 things that make life in Jamaica difficult. For locals mostly, not so much for me, because if they were too difficult for me, I would have chosen a different country. But anyway, so yeah. How will you celebrate your Jamaica citizenship? By making another video. But if I have the time to celebrate, I would go sailing, definitely. Sailing, yeah. If Jamaica offered you a full citizenship, would you give up your Ukrainian passport? Well, it's actually impossible because Ukraine doesn't have a law that would allow you to give up your citizenship or your passport. So once a Ukrainian, always a Ukrainian. No matter what happens, I can't get rid of it. Hypothetical situation, you know, if it was possible to give up Ukrainian citizenship, I wouldn't do it, obviously, because it's not so much for patriotic reasons, but rather for practical reasons. You know, I have property in Ukraine. I don't have any property in Jamaica or any land in Jamaica. I do have property in land in Ukraine. And also, if I do get a Jamaican citizenship, it doesn't actually make me Jamaican. I'm not trying to pretend I'm someone who I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'm a Ukrainian who lives in Jamaica. That's who I am. So it doesn't matter, you know. By the way, it's interesting that ethnically, I'm only 25% Ukrainian. The rest of me is heavily mixed. So I do actually fit Jamaica out of many one people slogan, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. This video was for our subscribers, so I hope you have enjoyed a day with me on Half Moon Beach. And if you are in Jamaica, around Negril or Green Island, please do pay a visit. I do have a video about Half Moon Beach and Kalikajak Pirate Bar that you can check out on my channel. I'm working on more documentaries, so these are coming up soon, and please stay tuned. And thanks so much for all our patrons for supporting the channel. We now have over 50 patrons, so I am working on making finally behind the scenes videos. There's going to be quite a lot of them, like short ones coming out on Patreon, and I'm not particularly sure many people would find them interesting, but I hope our patrons would. Because, you know, they are a part of our team making this YouTube channel happen. Thanks once again. My name is Irina, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.